As I said in the video that was about relaunching my channel, this is going to be about creativity. So I thought that for my first proper video, I should look at journaling. Now, journaling is the thing that I start my day with. 99% of the time, I get up and I spend 20 minutes just battering stuff down on a piece of paper. And that is almost like the foundation for my day. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the fact that I've been journaling since August and how that really has helped to transform so many aspects of my life. Just to give my journaling some context, I'll tell you exactly how I do that. So it happens behind me at that desk. I've just got an old jotter pad. I come in, I set a timer for 20 minutes, I get the pen out, and I just write anything that I can. There are times that I become totally blocked and I'm literally writing. I haven't got a clue what to put down next. I don't know what to say, and I keep on going through that until eventually something comes out. The whole idea is keep the pen moving for 20 minutes. So let me talk to you about exactly why those 20 minutes are so transformative for me. The first benefit is detoxing the mind. So whatever's going on, it gets out onto the paper. Now, I might not even realize what I'm worried about, what I'm thinking about. There can be these random thoughts that drop in. I latch onto that. I put it down on a piece of paper. And that act in itself is really great for me because I have such a busy mind. It's like there's a million rubber balls bouncing around my head and I can't quite latch onto any of them. So they just stay perpetually bouncing around. And that takes an incredible amount of energy for me to keep that in my head. So getting it down onto a piece of paper is actually really energizing. One of the reasons that I did start journaling was my alarm would go off in the morning and I found that I had 10 to 15 minutes before I left the house for the gym. And in that time, my mind was working overtime and it was giving me every single reason to say, don't go today. You were there yesterday, your body's tired, you've got other things to do. And I knew my mind was playing tricks on me. And so I thought to myself, if I am doing a physical workout, then why don't I also start the day with a mental workout? So the journaling became that, and it became a way of controlling all of those negative thoughts because I could dump them down on a piece of paper. And it was like having a good chat to yourself where you were like, right, I know that that's bullshit. And you were able to cut right through it. Number 2 is Unravelling the World. My first entry, so there was obviously a lot going on to get me started, was I cannot begin to describe the utter rage, sadness, confusion, fear that fills my heart with what is going on today. Mass protests. So it's a brilliant way of feeling like you're taking action. Now, obviously, if there are things that are like that, you do need to take a stance. But that's the beginning. And the unraveling the world is, it can be the major things, it can be the major societal things, or it can be the tiny, tiny little things. So from that, I might go into why I've had an argument with one of my kids and how that makes me feel, what led to that point where we had the argument, what I could do differently. So I let the thoughts drop in, and then again, as I said, it's like I have a really good talk to myself, and from that, naturally, the answers come from within me. Because we all do have the answers, it's just we don't take the time, give ourselves a space to breathe and to assess what has happened. We just fly through life at 100 miles an hour. And for me, that 20 minutes of journaling sets me up really well. Naturally, all the random thoughts, the happenings that are going on in my life come out, and I somehow put them into some kind of order. if that's the micro or the macro, it just allows me to make a bit more sense of what's happening. The final point, point 3, it's actually the physical act of writing. So I might, depending on what my work schedule is like, I could spend a day in front of the computer typing away. But it's a very different feel to having a pen in your hand and the physical act of scrawling, and I do scrawl across the page. And it's interesting because there are days when I feel at peace and it's almost like the words glide onto the page. And there are other days when I feel in turmoil and it's like I am scrawling it across the page. And it is a physical act. It is taking the pen in your hand and it is moving your body. And my writing can even change. It's almost like I can tell what mindset I'm in by the way that the writing comes out. Now, it's always messy. There's always spelling mistakes, but it's more the flow of it. Your body knows what's going on, sometimes far better than your mind. Journaling is the way that I choose to start my day. I choose to start it in a creative way. And for those of you who do journal, let me know what benefits you think you get from it. From those of you who don't journal and maybe feel intimidated by writing words and stuff, there are different ways in which you can journal. It can be doodles, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be complete words or sentences. And I'd really recommend that people do give this a go. Give it 5 minutes in the morning and just see if you setting up that tiny habit does make a difference to your day. So I'd love you to give this a go, journaling, and I'd love to hear if there were any results. Me having that in my routine, I'm setting myself up to be creative from the moment I do wake up. So the day is a bit brighter, there is hope in it, and I do feel that I'm making something. And through that making, I am making a bit of a difference to myself, to my family, to the people that I interact with that day.